Welcome to Too Fond of Books. My name is Janelle and this is Murder Mystery Monday. Today's recommendation for a mystery is very backlist. I am taking you back to 1966 with The Unexpected Mrs. Polifax by Dorothy Gilman. I read this a few years ago and I just loved it. The character of Mrs. Polifax is so fantastic, and putting her in the situations that she gets in is just brilliant. Yeah, really entertaining. So let me read the back for you. Meet Mrs. Polifax, Mrs. Virgil Emily Polifax of New Brunswick, New Jersey, was a widow with grown married children. She was tired of attending her garden club meetings. She wanted to do something good for her country. So naturally, she became a CIA agent. In this utterly charming tale of suspense, one of our most famous and unusual fictional spies takes on a job in Mexico City. The assignment doesn't sound dangerous at first, but then, as often happens, something goes wrong. Now, our dear Mrs. Polifax finds herself embroiled in quite a hot Cold War, and her country's enemies find themselves entangled with one unbelievably feisty lady. And that right there is one of the reasons why I love the character of Mrs. Polifax. She is feisty. And so very entertaining. I laughed out loud multiple times when I was reading this book. Yeah, it's just so good. Having a character like Mrs. Polifax and putting her in the situations that she gets put in makes for a really interesting mystery. Now, this is, you know, more lighthearted and funny, but it's definitely on the spy end of the spectrum when it comes to mysteries. And so there's a bit here just from the front that instead of reading the first sentence to you, I want to read this portion. Mr. Carstairs of the CIA had been searching intently for the right person to smuggle those vital documents out of Mexico. He would have to find just the right kind of person who could get away with ferrying state secrets across international borders. Mr. Carstairs caught his first glimpse of Mrs. Polifax, who was seated alone in the waiting room. He could scarcely believe his eyes. The first thing that struck him was that really absurd hat. It was difficult to overlook, with a single fuchsia-colored rose completely askew. His gaze traveled over the wisps of her white hair that refused to be confined and marked the cheerful glance that was as interested and curious as his own. Very ladylike. Very unspy-like. So very unspy-like. So perfectly innocent. The image of everyone's grandmother. And who would suspect his own grandmother of being a secret courier? I'm Carstairs, he said warmly, taking her hand. Tell me, have you ever been to Mexico? So, for today's Murder Mystery Monday, I would like to recommend The Unexpected Mrs. Polifax by Dorothy Gilman. Have you read any Dorothy Gilman? Have you read any Mrs. Polifax? This turned into quite a long series, and I actually haven't read any more. I have a few more, and I do want to read them. But this one, I just loved this one so much as an introduction to Mrs. Polifax. Do you enjoy spy novels, spy mysteries that are kind of a little more on the lighthearted side? That's where I land. I don't read a ton of spy fiction, but I do tend to prefer the more lighter side of that, because that can get pretty intense. So anyway, let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts about spy mysteries and your thoughts about Mrs. Polifax. And I will see you for another mystery soon and another video soon. Bye.